Hey guys, Austin here, and in today's video, I wanted to touch on the trade speculation regarding the Edmonton Oilers, and I also wanted to talk about some of the players that they could move out prior to the trade deadline. So, first things first. The Oilers, should they make a trade? In my opinion, no. I have made videos on this before. I have touched on the subject. I do not think they should make a trade. However, that's not what this video is about. I am going to go over some of the players that should be on the block that could maybe help improve the team. Obviously, you want to be looking at players who have no contract next season as potential offloading at the deadline or before that. So we have Warren Fogle, we have Matthias Janmark, we have James Hamblin, who I don't think they're going to move, honestly, unless they're playing him right now to showcase him, but I don't think they are. Then we have Connor Brown, who just had his bonus kick in this season, and I would like to actually clear out cap space and pay it off this year instead of having it carry over to next year. You have Adam Ernie, who for sure is not going to get another contract and should probably be in the minors. And then you have Sam Gagner, again, one of those guys you're not going to get a whole lot of return for. Looking at defensemen who don't have a contract next year, Philip Broberg and Vincent Desharnais. As of this very moment, Vincent Desharnais is the only one with any kind of trade value, in my opinion. Desharnais is a type of defenseman that a lot of teams value, that type of gritty, shut down, stay at home. They don't look pretty out there, but there's a lot of teams that would value that. We actually could have traded Desharnais for Sam Lafferty earlier this season, but Ken Holland said no to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then Sam Lafferty ended up getting traded to Vancouver, I believe. But Philip Broberg, right now, his trade value is probably at an all-time low. He has not established himself into the top 6 in Edmonton, so that could be a piece that they might want to move out. There could be teams that are itching to get their hands on a 22-year-old defenseman prospect, so we'll see where that plays out. When it comes to goalies, right now on the active roster, we have Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Now, Skinner last season just signed a 3-year contract worth $2.6 million per season. He is only 25. He has been struggling this season, but he is coming off of a shutout against the Washington Capitals, and I think that there's value there, and I think the team is going to want to keep him to at least be a backup at minimum. I don't think they're going to want to give up on him as a starter. He's too young. He's homegrown. The fans love him. And in my opinion, I think it would be best to hold on to Stuart Skinner. Calvin Pickard, he does not have a contract next season, but that's another guy that is totally fine as well. I mean, he probably shouldn't be on the NHL roster right now. The team does need a starter. Calvin Pickard is a serviceable AHL goalie and someone that you can call up if there's any kind of injuries. And then they also have Jack Campbell, who's being buried right now in the minors. His cap hit while he's in the minors is $3.85 million. This is the contract that if they do make a move, they're going to try and get rid of. Now, he does have $5 million a year, and he has 3 years left after this season with this contract. But if you were to buy him out, the buyout penalty is only $1.5 million a year. I'm trying to find the buyout penalty here. I don't think I can do that. I'm sure there's a way to do it on Cap Friendly. I'm not finding it. But anyways, if they bought out Jack Campbell, basically they would save $3.5 million on the salary cap for the next couple of seasons, which you could use to pick up a scoring winger or another defenseman. Now, when it comes to who I would trade, now we looked at the guys who don't have a contract next season. Fine. Who I would trade right now, Brett Kulak is a defenseman that I would trade and someone that I would try and improve on the left side in the Oilers lineup. If you wanted Broberg to, if you thought he was ready to step in and play more minutes, because right now he only plays 5 minutes a night, Brett Kulak is someone I'd want to move out because Philip Broberg, he is a lot better on the left side. I don't think he's very good on that right side. So if you want him to succeed, play him on his strong side. The next guy I would want to move out is Cody Ceci. Now, Cody Ceci this season, he's actually played fairly well. I haven't really disliked his game, but he has not scored a goal in 100 games plus, and he makes $3.25 million. This is a serviceable defenseman when they're not playing top 2 minutes, but unfortunately the Oilers continuously play him with Darnell Nurse for 20 plus minutes a night. And for Cody Ceci, it's not like I have anything against him. I think he's actually played better than many people expected him to in Edmonton. But when it comes to possibly improving on the right side of defense, Cody Ceci is someone I would move out. No, I'm not even getting into the Evan Bouchard discourse. I'm not talking about that today. Absolutely, you do not move on from Evan Bouchard. Ekholm, he is a fantastic defenseman. I think the $6 million a year is actually totally fine for him. As a number one left D defenseman playing with Evan Bouchard, these two are great. And Darnell Nurse, you're not really going to be able to move that contract. And even if they could move the contract, I don't know if they would, because he is best friends with Connor McDavid. And I'm not sure how much of a rift in the locker room you'd want to create by moving him out. Do I think Darnell Nurse is worth $9.25 million? Absolutely not. He's probably a $7 million guy, $7.5 million max. I'm conflicted with Darnell Nurse. If he was traded, I would not be upset, but he is a big part of the lineup right now, and for now, you just got to roll with him. When it comes to forwards that I would try and move out and get something back for, Evander Kane is someone that I would look to move. And it's not because I don't think he's a bad player. It's because I think a team would look at him and they might look at that contract that he has at $5.125 million a season. And they might look at that and go, you know what, that's fine. We want to eat that because he could still maybe give us 30 goals. Now, Evander Kane, he's 32. He's coming off that wrist injury last year. He is getting older. His style of play, I am worried that he's going to slow down heavily and that the rest of this contract is not going to look good if the Oilers hang on to him. He is someone that I would try and be proactive at moving. You probably could trade him at very high value right now. When it comes to the core, the leadership core, you have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nuge. If the Oilers moved any of them, it would probably be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, just because they do have a lot of center depth. But again, this is a player that is a fan favorite in Edmonton. He is friends with McDavid, and he does provide a lot to the team in terms of his ice time, the minutes that he eats, his responsibilities that they give him on the defensive side. I don't always agree with it, but there is a lot of value in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and it's clear that he wants to end his career here. Otherwise, he would not have signed that large contract last year. The next player I would try and move out is Ryan McLeod. And again, this is not because I dislike the player, but he is making $2.1 million. He has yet to score a goal this season. He does everything right when he's on the ice defensively and offensively, but he really struggles at just putting that puck in the net right now. This is a player that you don't trade at lowest value. So don't trade him today, but hope that he picks up his game. That way by the deadline, you might have a trade that you can make to a team looking for a value contract or someone that is a bit speedy, someone that might be willing to give up draft picks or something. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the Oilers trade situation. Do I think they're going to make a big trade? No, I hope they don't, at least, because historically, it's not good if Edmonton is making trades in November. The last GM that was doing that was Peter Chiarelli. He made a bunch of boneheaded trades before he was fired. So take the keys away from Ken Holland, see if the team can fight their way through this. Oh my God, my cat just jumped on my shoulders there. Jesus. Sorry about that if you heard that. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think about the Oilers situation? Is it time to make a trade? Should they just leave things where they are? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, if you liked the video, make sure you hit like. If you really liked it, hit subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.